Us. Welcome to our virtual dojo. Welcome brown and black belts. First thing and foremost, when you're watching this live, please sign in. Let us know who you are and give us a feedback. We really appreciate it. The whole point of this, obviously, we want to keep our students engaged and active. So don't want to turn into all couch potatoes out there. All right, so obviously we're going to focus on Kumite for you guys. We're going to start off with a one step, and then we're going to go into semi-free sparring. Obviously, with the freestyle, if you have a partner, feel free to do some Ju Kumite. But let's focus on some fundamentals of Kumite, regardless if you're a white belt to black belt. There are key elements in Kumite that you have to really understand and get a handle on. Distance, timing, speed, and focal point on target. Obviously, with the brown and black belts, we get into Jodan attacks, Chudan attacks, Maigiri attacks, Kokomi, and Mawashi. The five main attacks. They're always a step in. But what we can do is we can also do variances of those attacks. But let's focus on the fundamentals. And then, depending on our timelines today, we may get into some more sort of freestyle, kind of different types of ways of attacking it. So to start off with, and this is great, and if you have a partner, please, and if you're isolated together, guess what? You can work together, absolutely. If you're on your own, that's fine too. So today we're just going to do a one-person type of defense and attacks. If you do have a partner, good for you. Sometimes I suggest using a mirror as a focal point for your attacks, or a bag. All those variances will help you. All right. To start off with, let's get into some basic ideas. We're going to start off with the one step, Ippon Kumite. So from that standpoint, I'm going to be the defender facing you. Let's say you're the attacker. So we're going to do a Jodan attack just for courtesy's sake, and they know what's coming. Call your attack Jodan, go us, ready to come in. Always think about lining up your legs properly. So if they're stepping in, they're going into right leg back Kumite, get a bri. Obviously, you're going to see that leg coming in. So what I would suggest to do for a warm-up is have them step on the same side, just like you learned in the lower belt levels. So you can do your rising block, nice and strong block. The key element with rising block is it has to have some angle on it. Don't go straight across like this. And also you want to engage your whole body. Part of higher level blocking is to engage your body. So you notice how I use this elbow lines up with my shoulder and lines up with the body. A lot of things with lower belt levels tend to go square with this. Not understanding as you rotate your hip, notice how I rotate my hip, my target minimizes, but it also supports my block. And then counter through. Be very accurate and focus on the center line. One thing I talked about the senior students, when you're attacking, I want you to think about, so here's my feet as a defender. I always tell my attackers to always focal step right between their feet. You always want to control the center line, whether you're defender or attacker. So when you're stepping in, try to focus your step between them. To figure out your distance at this level, you should be able to kind of get a sense of gauge about distance. But I always say, if your foot lands about here, guarantee that hand attack is going to be in your face and it's actually going to go past you. Always focus that attack, whether it be a kick or a punch, is past the target. Don't think in front. I want you to think about a half a foot behind. All right? So from that standpoint here, always think about moving away. One of the key elements of defense is body movement. Don't think just block, because it's going to overwhelm you. Always think, move your body. That's your first line defense. The block at this level is secondary, honestly, truthfully. It's about moving your body, whether it be face, whether it be stomach. You can do inside block if you wish. You can do an inside block, absolutely. Maigiri, always on kicks, especially Kokomi Maigiri. Think about angles. because it's a longer limb attack, and you're not going to match the smaller limb with a big limb. So always think about deflection. Don't think about smashing legs. Okay. So think about being evasive more in your style. With Kokomi, opposite turn, right? Always think of opposite turning to the Kokomi. If it's coming through this way, so if they're kicking with their right leg, I want them to actually move to their right side. And I can do a pivot, or you can do a shift. Now, one of the other things about countering is to think about your distance, but different types of counters. You can do fist. You can do knife hand strike. You can do ridge hand strikes. You can do side elbow strikes. That way, you can do, from an agyuki standpoint, you can do tate impyuchi. So it's all about working different drills. So let's say if you want to vary two different things. So make sure you're working at home, working these drills constantly. Even after this, you can go back and review these as well. So for an example, if you want to think about different counters. So we can say the basic counter for Jodan attack, one step, the block counter, okay? That's a punch, obviously. But if you want to change it up and you want to try out, let's say an elbow counter. Block, you can slide in. Again, you don't have to stay here. You can use that shifting motion to close the target because it's a shorter technique. Or you can do rising block, side elbow. Absolutely. Rising block, and just keep working these drills with your partner back and forth. I would suggest work these drills about 5 to 10 times each. Try one counter, block and counter, and work in different variations. Work on your speed. First 5 times, getting your distance and timing down, and then the last 5 times at least full speed. Especially if you have a partner with you. Even if you don't have a partner, I want you to think of block counter. So it's working that. And then if you want to be the attacker, if you're just by yourself, use a mirror and quick step ins. One step, you're always stepping in. Now, to change that, if you want to vary and get a little bit more sense of what you're doing as far as different types of counters, because when you're moving into freestyle, you've got to learn to step in different ways. So with your partner, as long as your partner understands it, or if you're working by yourself. So you can do this kind of act. So when you're kamae, getting into now semi-free feel, from this standpoint, you can do sugiyashi, kazami. That's a jodan attack. Chudan attack. I would work these at least 10, 15 times each. Even on the kicks, because we're doing all 3 kicks. Maigeri, kokomi, mawashi. You can do kazami kicks, back leg, snap kick. You can do back leg, kokomi, from the front leg, and then sugiyashi, mawashi. Then, once you've got that sort of challenged, and you get very proficient with that kind of feel, get your partner, if you're working with a partner, get them to do a combination at you. So for an example, get them to do a maigeri, chudan, and then follow through with the jodan. So for defense for that, rising, then shift. That's from hachidatsu. But if you're in kamae, you can vary this a little bit. So it comes in maigeri, you can sweep it the opposite way, sweep, then catch same arm, then counter. These are ways you can really work the dynamics of kumite. As you get that higher level, then you get into some freestyle stuff. But the key element here is being mobile. So once you're getting into, that's for Ippon's idea, if you're getting into semi-free, Ju-Ippon kumite, is to have the proper stance. We talked about this a lot, is to have your legs loaded. If you see from side view, don't have your back leg straight for Ju-Ippon kumite, sorry. This is not a front stance. Watch my back knee. Open your back knee. Keep on the balls of your feet. So if you're just working by yourself, here's a suggestion to learn how to be mobile in this Chudan Kamai. Okay? So learning to just shift back, forward, back, forward. Just work this drill and then shift your feet forward, backward. Keep your arms where they are. Constantly working this. The key with Kumite, whether you're attacking or defending, you need to be mobile and quick reaction. It's all about reaction. You guys have worked on this for the last, let's say, 3 years plus training. You've learned the basics of 3-step, 1-step. Now you're progressing into the semi-free, and eventually, for some of you, have done some freestyle or Jukumite. Jukumite is actually a very exciting type of kumite, but you need the basics. So don't ever forget, and don't stop working your fundamental kumite. Start with the 3-step for a warm-up. Then work the 1-step basics. Then progress into semi-free. Now, from the Chudan Kamai. So when you're in attack mode in Chudan Kamai, key elements you want to watch for, I call it the tells. Don't set something up. You've got to establish your legs here. Learn to move. Some people like to really bounce around. It's a preference. My personal preference is just little foot shifts, little foot shifts, little foot shifts. Don't give it away. Sometimes you want to change your feet. When you're getting into freestyle, you can start changing your feet. Move around. Then constantly change. Changing that perspective to a defender, the whole idea is to catch them off balance, catch them off guard. They know what's coming, especially in semi-free. You're calling your attack step, right? So you're going in Kamai, and Chudan, or Jodan. They know it's coming. Your challenge as an attacker is to get there quickly, right? Effectively, on target, and penetrate the target, okay? So you as a defender know it's coming. It's your reaction time, effective blocking. Being evasive, we always talk about being evasive at the higher levels. This all means about just shifting out of the way and then shifting back in. It's creating different distances in your technique. So keep working on these. Keep working on these types of drills. If you've got a partner, work with them, okay? Constantly work with your partner. And I suggest one of the great drills, just to get you started here, we usually do this for brown black belts, is an open hand interactive drill. This is a great warm-up. So we've done these before in class. So hands up, and this really helps as far as your timing and distance. So the only target is your shoulders, okay? So the idea of striking. And at the same time, you're constantly moving, right? You can block these open hand. There's no fists, no heavy impact. But what it does, teaches you distance to your target, teaches you reaction to the attack coming in, block it, and then you can counter back. It's a great way to warm yourself up for semi-free and freestyle. Right? And if you've got someone to work with, awesome. If you don't, I call it shadow boxing. Use a mirror. So obviously the mirror is going to mimic what you do. So now you've got to figure out, okay, they're throwing up, okay, I'm going to block that. Right? You can do reaction even though I know it's instantaneous body movement coming right at you because it's a reflection. But you can still do that kind of feel. And don't feel like you've got to go straight back. There's also pivot ideas. So from that standpoint, you can do for an ippon, for a variation of ippon, 1-step sparring for higher level. So they're back with the right leg, coming in Jodan. Doesn't mean you have to step back and line up your limbs. Not at this level. You can do even a pivot if you want. If you want to do a pivot and counter right away, absolutely. That's a different timing. So this is called Dono Sen timing, but then you're going to get into Sendo Sen. Or if you're in freestyle, let them kind of say attack Jordan, they're going to come in, you instantly react before they can even finish their technique. That's taking the chance away. So learn to do some pivoting from here. Work this. I haven't just come in Jordan. I'll just do this kind of a drill. Pivot and Kazami right away. In tournament, for semi-free and 1-step, it's 1 counter. But In freestyle, you can do multiple, okay, multiple countering. So one of the things you can work on to get your timing down better in countering is to work on block, counter, leg, counter, hand. So working that. So if, let's say if you're going to come in like a Jordan feel, Jordan, Chuden, Chuden, and then Jordan face level. Changing levels is a big part of kumite, especially freestyle. Okay, so variants even in the semi-free. Work on one drill where you can have your attacker coming in, Magiri, Jordan. So for defense, from here, so their left leg is forward like mine. When they come in this way, you can either do a shift out, sweeping, then catch it coming in, same arm. It's much more proficient that way. Try to do cross blocking is challenging in itself. Or if they're coming with a Maigiri, you can do a sweeping block, then counter face out. So the key here is vary those drills. Kind of have them coming in Maigiri or Suki. They can also do, now they can do some foot shifting. They don't always have to step in, just to vary this up. So from here, like I said before, Kazami. Or they can do Maigiri, Kazami. And for defense, coming in, press block, catch, counter. And you can do variances of it. You don't necessarily have to match their step. So Sugiashi is a very effective type of stepping. Makes a lot of distance, sometimes longer than Oyashi. So just for an example, if I'm doing Oisuki, so my foot's here, left foot's here. If I step, that's a normal step through. Now watch Sugiashi. 1, 2. Distance is more. Sugiashi is a very good way of shifting drills as far as attacking. So really work on that a lot at your level. So again, so from here, Sugiashi, and timing it. You can also do a hand combination idea. So Shuden again, Jodan. If you want to add a third attack, coming through Maigiri, 3. So from this standpoint, coming in Jodan, and then press Shuden. Now the Maigiri is coming through, sweeping block, counter. That's a great drill to work on. Keep it simple. Don't get too complicated. When it comes to free sparring, if you don't have a partner, it's pretty hard to do that. But you can do a little bit of shadow boxing, absolutely, with a mirror. Try that. If you've got a partner, please be careful. Wear your gloves and mouth guard just as a safety mechanism. Watch your control. Don't try to be too forceful. I mean, still have some intensity in your attacks, but also be very conscious of protecting yourself. Like I said before, it's all about your first line of defense is to move. Okay? Move your legs. Arms come secondary. Then the block. Okay? Don't think block when your feet are stuck. Okay? It's a real key point. Please keep on joining us for these live presentations. Work on these drills we covered today. We're going to work on syllabus next week. And from that standpoint, I'm going to focus on all your syllabuses. For Tuesday, it's going to be on your basics, Kihon. Thursdays is going to be your kata. And then Saturdays, we'll be focusing on your kumite for your syllabus. So obviously we have, for you guys, it's going to be all the round levels and black belt level. We'll see how much ground we can cover with that, but I'm breaking them up in 3 segments. Tuesdays is basics, Thursdays kata, Saturdays kumite. So next Saturday, we're trying to implement some partner work. But social distancing, so we're not going to actually be touching each other. We're going to be doing some offsetting, but from a visual standpoint, you'll see the attack, you'll see the block and the counter working with partners. If you don't have a partner, that's fine. Just keep working on what I did today as a way to drill it. So you can be the offense, you can also be the defense. So have fun out there. Keep training, keep your chin up, stay healthy, and We'll see you on Tuesday. Thank you.